This year, I'm gonna be sitting on a pond probably to start opening morning if the wind and the conditions stay what we're predicting, and probably hunt there a couple of times. It's a really unique setup in the sense that great watering hole. There's a big food plot area kind of behind me, and the deer can probably come from 360. As the first, light starts breaking over the horizon, you start to hear a few birds. But in this case here, we heard more bass jumping and sloshing and, eating on the shoreline than we were hearing anything. And that was almost a distraction for me. But then finally we saw the first deer of the season off to our left. This little young guy was over there feeding on a few random acorns, and he just kind of milled around and was doing his thing. And as the morning kind of went on, sun started getting up a little higher. We had, two bucks kind of come in together, ease around in through the brush over there. I kind of got some looks at them. I felt like one of them was the 9-point that we had some scouting camera photos of that I had, kind of gotten attached to. Had this little crooked main beam look going on. Is one side was taller than the other, kind of the way it bent in and wrapped around. And those deer just kind of milled around the edges, kind of stayed behind a clump of oaks for the most part. They never came all the way down to the pond, and then eventually they exited at the back end of the, or what would be the front end for me, I guess would be better to say, and kind of worked left to right and out. Never really given a good shot, but the fact of knowing that, hey, we've got 2 good mature deer in the area. It's an early season hunt. In the early season, I've always found the evenings to be a little bit better, a little bit more activity. So we're gonna slide out of here. It's about 9 o'clock right now. Eat some pancakes. That's our traditional opening weekend breakfast on the opening morning. Come back this afternoon because I haven't heard any shots around anywhere. So probably slow for most folks, even though we did see a couple of good bucks. We just never had an opportunity to get a shot. I have a feeling this afternoon, this water hole, it might be a different story.
It's opening weekend here on the Wendland Ranch, and Wade heads back to the pond he hunted in the morning, hoping that the water will be a refreshing sight for the deer during the warm afternoon.
Many times when it comes to hunting scenarios in early season, you're dealing with, early season conditions of heat. Deer that are just kind of starting to break up their bachelor pad, groups. They've been running together all summer long, and now they're fighting with their buddy that they were friends with all summer long, and you're starting to see dominance begin to emerge, and so the patterns are really radically changing. Other things that I always keep in mind when it comes to early season hunting is the food sources are constantly changing. Is it a dry year or a wet year? What are the acorns doing? What type of browse and forbs are just coming up out of the ground? Did somebody plant a food plot that took off real early? These deer in this time of the year, they can really rapidly change. I expect as that sun gets down behind this pond dam, it'll start cooling off in this area. These deer ought to get up on their feet and just kind of move around in here. I've got a 30-06 in the TC Compass right now. My longest shot's probably 165, 175 yards, so we're perfectly set up there. And I think as the day goes on, when these bucks get up on their feet, we'll probably see them in bachelor groups. We may see, may only see one, but may see 2, 3, 4 bucks at a time. That's pretty common for early in the season where we're hunting at right now. Steve's not too far away from me. He's probably a quarter of a mile on the other side of this ridge over there, so we may even hear him shooting. Hopefully one of us, when we head back to the fish Friday night, which is our traditional open weekend cookout, be having a nice deer to celebrate over. Nothing left to do now but sit and wait for the sun to get down low and those bucks get on their feet. You know, as time passed, these deer basically came all the way down. They got to the edge of the pond, just like you envisioned it. I knew now as they were coming out and easing along the edge of that pond that basically, you know, we had great camera footage at that point. And I knew that one deer was that 9-point that had gotten me fairly excited, big, mature, full-bodied deer. And, you know, both the deer kind of meandering around there. And then, you know, here come the doe. She kind of came down to the water, and then she got spooky, which all of a sudden changed the entire dynamics. That 9-point quickly left the pond where I was getting ready to take a shot, and he started working back up towards the side of the hill, and I'm just thinking turn broadside. He's done. Whew. Wow. You talk about pretty early season hunting. Man, these deer come off this big ridge there. The sun's lighting them up. I mean, he comes down. He comes down. They kind of ease down around the water like that, just like you would imagine, just like you would dream. You could see the silhouettes in the water. It starts easing back up after they got done around the water, and just, I mean, gave me a perfect broadside shot right out there. That's, I mean, a chip shot, 110 yards right there. The old TC Compass, put the smack down on him. I can see him down right there. I mean, that's what's so fun about early season hunting like this. I mean, it's just gorgeous out here right now. Of course, hunting anytime's gorgeous. Wow. I mean, look at all these tracks. They're just all working along this shoreline here. You can just see them. And the end result is right up here. We got another awesome whitetail buck. Look at that. TC put the smack down on him. Golly. You look at the character on this deer here. It's really got a unique right main beam in comparison to the left side. Look at this. It comes out and goes up and goes in, kind of compressed there. Really good threes on both sides, solid twos, good brows, but it's got a really neat little tine that just kind of comes off right there. That's a great 9-point right there. What a cool deer.